Laziest star ever on My 600 Pound Life. Lock in.
From using puppy training pads to go to the bathroom in her bed, to boasting about being dragged through her kitchen by paramedics claiming she was a princess, Penny Cigar is undoubtedly the laziest star ever on My 600 Pound.
I can't. Actually tried to watch one of these episodes. I think it's on Netflix. Some streaming service has like every season of My 600 Pound Life, and it is unbearably. And I'm not saying this about the people, but I'm saying the conditions that they live in because of their weight is disgusting. They shit themselves constantly. They have to like lay in hospital beds and shit in like extra large bedpans. It gets everywhere. They have like so bad like rashes, and because they're so bedridden, what is that called where you're sitting so long that you start getting like a disease that like rots your skin? I don't know what it's called, but there was this one where, dude, he had, I'm just going to describe it because you can't, bed sores, yeah. I'm going to describe it because he was butt naked in the fucking, they'll show them just fucking out because you can't see their dick. And so he's laying there and he's like, and it's always a voiceover of them and it's like a sad music. And he's like, I'm 865 pounds or something. And he's sitting there and he has like a roll of fat that's like popping out of his thigh. So if this is his thigh, there's like a growth that's probably like 150-pound mass that's just like sitting and it's just there. And I don't know how it's there, but it's there. And they end up removing it and they show the process. I don't know if he's going to show that in this video, but I probably shouldn't show it. If they do, mods, could we get a scan on this video? They'll show them just like slicing into their fat, and it is so gross. It like, I would never be able to be a surgeon. They're like just cutting open like fat, and it literally looks like butter, like as they're cutting into it, and they just remove the lump. And the doctor goes, and he has a mask, and he goes and he holds it up to the camera and puts it down, and it's like, and it's the one doctor, and he's like, we just removed a 50-pound mass from this woman. And he sounds like an AI. Hopefully, this will help her on her road to recovery. And a lot of the time, they will get better, but a lot of the time, they just don't listen to him, and they'll gain weight, which annoys the fuck out of me. And I'm assuming that's probably what's going to happen with this video, but it's like they're trying to help them. They're on a show for this. They have people watching them, giving them dieting instructions, and like pulling tooth and nail for these fucking people to help them basically rise out of bedridden death, because they're going to die in 5 fucking years. And half of the time, it's like, last time you were 570 pounds, and now you're 610. What happened? And then they'll sit there and go, well, I don't know. And I'm like, dude, I understand it's like an addiction to a degree, but like someone's sneaking them food. They can't walk. They're bedridden. Who's giving them 40 pounds of beef? Uber Eats? Bro. No. Okay, yeah, Uber Eats. They go on their phone and they Uber Eats. They Uber Eats a fucking meal. It's at their doorstep. They can't get up. What are they going to fucking do?
This is my bed. This is my bathroom. This is my dinner table.
Penny has always had an addiction to food. From an early age, she was always the heaviest in her class, resorting to food when—
But that's not her fault when you're young. I always feel so bad when I see like a morbidly obese like 6-year-old, because I'm just sitting there like, dude, your parents are making you fat as shit. It's not even you, right? It's not like, oh, you have an addiction and it's your fault. Like, your parents are the Rizzler. The Rizzler's overweight. I would not say the Rizzler's morbidly obese. He needs to lose weight. Yeah. I love the Rizzler, though, dude. He's a fucking great guy. He's funny, right? But he's like 7 years old. He needs to go on a diet. But, like, dude, I remember I had a friend when I was in middle school that had a little brother. And my friend was like a little overweight. His little brother was like 6 years old and 120 pounds. It was appalling how big he was. We would have lunch on like Pizza Fridays, and this 6-year-old would eat 4 slices of pizza. And I was like, dude, he's 6. Like, I would eat 1 and a fucking apple when I was 6 years old. He's just bulking. Yeah, that might be the bulking since birth, dude. No. He needed I was like, this is the parents' fault, man. And I remember the gym teacher, our gym teacher, would literally, because this kid would order 4 slices, like his parents would get 4 slices for him. Our gym teacher would fucking get the smallest slices that he could find for this kid. Because you had to pre-order pizza on Pizza Fridays at my school, and he would go around and get, I remember watching him do this. He would get the smallest pizza slices that he could, because he had to give the kid 4 slices because that's what his parents ordered. But he would get like because there would be ones that were like this or like that, just because that's how somebody's cutting the pizza. He would give him the smallest 4, so it'd be like 2.
Whenever she felt the slightest bit of stress or discomfort, having to wear plus-size clothing as a child, Penny continues to gain 20 to 30 pounds a year throughout school, eventually weighing over 300 pounds by the time she was only 22 years old. Childhood obesity is an issue seen time and time again on the show, as almost every star has had an unfortunate backstory of growing up without learning how to eat.
I wouldn't even say almost every star. I would say every person that weighs 800 pounds has been obese since they can remember. You don't get that fat on a whim. Like, that doesn't, you can get fat, right? Like, you could be, like, skinny and then get fat, but you don't get 600, 800 pounds. Like, that's a very long process. If you were tasked at like, say some of you guys are probably 140 pounds. If you were tasked with getting to 600 pounds, it would take you 10 years to get that fat.
Healthy
of just constantly eating.
Penny also experienced a great deal of abuse as a child. Her sisters recount that Penny was physically abused by her alcohol.
Necocado avocado, not even him. Dude, my 600-pound life is a different level of fat. Like, there's obese, there's overweight, obese, morbidly obese, and then there's my 600-pound life, right? Like, if I'd never seen the show, I wouldn't know that there are people that are this big that exist. Like, I know there's people that are overweight and ride mobility scooters and stuff. When you see those people at Walmart, they're 300 pounds, 350, maybe 400 pounds. Somebody that's over 600 pounds can't walk. They have not just rolls of fat, they have weird protrusions of like fat globs because their body can't function anymore.
Father, and she often took the brunt of the abuse so that she spared her sisters because she was the oldest. Penny would resort to eating as a coping mechanism, one that would eventually become so dangerous it risked taking her life. Penny does have a partner named Edgar, who currently acts as her personal servant, but it wasn't always like that. Their relationship began like any other, a romantic few months that led to purchasing their first home together. Despite weighing over 400 pounds, Edgar didn't seem.
I would beat, bro, and as the husband, don't you think he has some sort of obligation to not give in to her requests? If I was in his position and my wife was so obese that she can't walk because she's eating like shit, can you get me Wendy's? No. Or you don't love me. No, I do love you. That's why I'm not going to give you 4,000 calories of food for breakfast. And what is she going to do? See, that's what I can't get over, is they can't walk. They can't walk. They can't get their own food. You can just tell them no. Like, the worst they're going to do, they're going to call the cops on you and be like, he's not giving me Wendy's. You're not committing a crime. You're basically aiding them.
And the couple were able to travel and visit places like any other. Things changed though when Penny got pregnant. She gained 600 pounds throughout her pregnancy, and after the birth of her son, the weight just didn't disappear. In the years since, Penny continued to eat herself to immobility, resulting in her.
There are some people that love to feed overweight people, and they're called feeders. That's what most of obese people's partners are. Yeah, not even just feeders. What is it called when somebody loves having somebody reliant on them? Not Munchausen. No, it's reverse Munchausen. That's what, who's the girl that killed her mom? You know. Tell me, Gypsy Rose. Gypsy Rose's mom had reverse Munchausen. Like, they like being like, oh, I have to wait on them.
Being bedbound. Edgar has become her full-time carer, no longer able to work as he is required around the clock to help her.
How do they make money then? I don't see. That's what I don't get. How are they making money? She might get disability checks, but like, how are they getting money?
They're also struggling financially, being supported only by Penny's disability allowance, leaving them living paycheck to paycheck. Edgar has stated that he would love to find a job for himself, but Penny's condition makes it impossible to do so.
Oh my god, do they have a kid?
Arguably the most frustrating situation in Penny's predicament is the fact that she has a young son called Liam. Given Penny is immobile and confined to the 4 posts of her bed, she can only attend to her child when he comes within her bubble, the radius between her outstretched arms. If he refuses to come to her, she won't be able to help him at all. If you thought this was sad for Liam, his life would only go downhill.
And, okay, I understand the mom's dealing with some shit, but at the end of the day, I'm going to say this. You need to lock the fuck in when you have a kid. And if you're in a situation where you're so obese that you can't fucking move and neither you nor your husband are able to work because of you, you're giving your kid a bad life. And it's not because of the circumstances that you're given, like you're working and you just have a minimum wage job and you're not doing this, you're not doing that, like you're doing everything you can. That's different, right? Where like people are impoverished, but they're doing everything they can. Like they could do more and they're not.
As Penny's manipulation tactics only get more and more advanced. It's difficult to understand why Penny won't change her situation for the good of her son and her wider family, especially her husband Edgar. Most significantly, Edgar takes care of every aspect of their son's life, often having to record these classes so Penny can watch them from home. Liam's other family members also play a key role in his care, all while Penny festers in her bed.
Like, why are you giving her that for dinner, bruh? That is literally mozzarella sticks, onion rings, and chicken nuggets.
Penny festers in her bed. Penny's family were ecstatic to learn that she was pregnant, hoping that this would finally be a turning point in Penny's life where she would have someone to motivate her, but instead the opposite happened and Penny got worse. The weight gain spiraled out of control and there's no doubt
while she was pregnant, that's unsafe for the child too.
That Penny loves Liam, but how far can that care extend from her hospital bed? As we learn more about Penny's situation.
Oh, it's a second child. She's pregnant now? I don't want to ask the question. We all know what I'm thinking, okay?
We hear little from the star herself of her motivation to change. Instead, it's Penny's family members, her husband and sisters, who provide their accounts of the difficulty in helping Penny with her situation. They explain the stress her position puts on them and their anxiety surrounding Liam, and how this will affect his development. With many 600-pound life stars, their desire for change is present immediately, often appearing emotional as they face their own internal.
Well, yeah, because they decide to go on the show after they've already crossed the barrier of recognizing they have a problem and wanting to get over it. Because it's the same thing as like a drug addiction and alcohol. I've said this a million fucking times. No, you won't get help. Like, you can force somebody to go to rehab for a drug addiction. You can force somebody to diet. It's not going to do shit unless they actually want to change. Because, and you mainly see it with like teenage drug addicts where they're like a pillhead and they don't want to get help, but their parents force them to go to rehab. Second they get out, they start doing drugs again. Because it's not, yeah, they're not physically addicted to it anymore, but they don't fucking care. Right? They never wanted to get clean, so they're not going to. And that's the barrier that you have to cross.
Battles of allowing their obesity to spiral to a life-threatening extent. With Penny, however, we don't see any of this. Instead, she seems entirely content with her position. It's Penny's family who detail their desire for her change, largely for the better of Liam. Some viewers of the show have speculated that her family forced her to appear on the show, fearing that it was the only way to get her to lose weight, especially as the family is struggling so much financially. Penny's attitude reinforces this, as she shows little to no effort in wanting to change, as we will see. Penny makes the 21-hour car journey from Maryland to Houston, getting comfortable across the entire length of the car.
Dude, if they got in a car crash, she's dead.
It takes an entire team to transport Penny just from the house to the minibus waiting outside. As Penny can't walk, she's unable to get out of the car until she makes it to Houston. On the road, Edgar passes through many drive.
Oh my god.
drive-thrus, ordering a selection of chicken nuggets, burgers, and fries for his overweight wife. It seems like the weight loss won't start until she reaches the doors of Dr. Now's office. Upon arrival, Dr. Now examines Penny.
Like, that pisses me off. Like, that aggravates the fuck out of me. Because everybody's always just like, oh, it's the person that's overweight. But you gotta think, like, dude, the other person that's enabling that is as responsible for that person being that obese.
She weighs in at 530 pounds, and Dr. Now outlines how severe her BMI is. Penny's BMI is over double that of a super morbidly obese person. Combined with her small stature, Penny has one of the most dangerous BMI in the history of the show. Dr. Now also examines Penny physically, noticing Penny's oxygen nasal cannula that she...
I need a scan, bro, because the doctor shit, they're gonna start fucking... See, yeah, if you actually watch this episode, this is where they start looking at, like, she'll, like, lift up a flap, and it'll just be, like, looks like road rash, just everywhere, or some shit. They'll, like, lift up, like a blob, and they'll, like, hold it up, and it'll just be, like, weird bumps and stuff.
Penny protests that she needs the oxygen, with Dr. Now allowing her to continue using it. However, he notes that he believes the device is unnecessary, and observes that Penny is instead using the oxygen to preserve her victim mentality, an all too common trope among the show's stars. Penny's program begins by the book, a 1-month diet to show she's determined to lose the weight and hopefully qualify for the weight loss surgery. In hospital, where her food is provided and unhealthy snacks are forbidden, it should be easy for Penny to drop the 25 to 50 pounds needed. With a somewhat positive attitude, Penny does indeed drop the 40 pounds needed to qualify for the weight loss surgery after just a month of dieting. After the surgery, it's incredibly important for the patient to start walking to encourage blood flow and oxygenate the body. Not only is it also important for exercising to aid additional weight loss, but it also encourages the patient to ease back into normal life after years of being bedridden. Penny, on the other hand, completely rejects this and refuses to even stand up from her bed. While Penny remains in hospital, Edgar relocates to Houston to be closer to the hospital, renting a small 1-bedroom apartment with his son Liam. They share a
He fucking moved?
bunk bed in the bare, unfurnished apartment, counting down the days when Penny can return home to them. Penny's new 1,200 calorie diet causes some issues.
Ooh. Yeah, that's rough. 1,200 calories for me, I would be hungry as shit. And for somebody that's that obese, that's probably eating like upwards of 8,000 calories a day, like, you're gonna be fucking losing it. That's pretty low. Yeah, but when you're that obese, you need your body to start consuming its own fat. So it's 1,200 calories, but it's a calculated 1,200 calories of the exact nutrients she needs within a given day. So she's still getting all of her vitamins, her protein, and carbs, but she's removing, like, all of the excess that she doesn't need.
Protests the small amount and threatens to start ordering fast food unless it can be increased. Her normal soft-spoken voice changes as she becomes aggressive, speaking rudely to her nurses and degrading their advice. It's difficult to watch Penny's motivation decline when her family struggles at home. As weeks pass, Dr. Now becomes concerned as Penny's weight remains stagnant, and the only thing declining is her attitude. He begins to suspect that Penny is somehow having snacks sneaked in, as there is no logic.
Oh my god, no way. No way. We have like a prisoner Shiv in the cake scenario here. Somebody sneaking her snacks in the fucking hospital room.
Now confronts Penny, demanding to know how many times she is eating, what she is eating, and if she can even finish her meals. After weight loss surgery, it's common for patients to struggle to eat. Their body is adjusting to their smaller stomach size. Some patients are even prone to vomiting until they become accustomed to eating again. All of this suggests that Penny is doing something different, straying away from her diet, which is why Dr. Now doesn't believe a word coming out of her mouth, as she lies about not being able to eat more than 5 or 6 bites of food. The most dangerous situation that Penny is in is that her psychological state hasn't changed at all.
Yeah, she's like, I can't even eat 5 or 6 bites of food. And then Dr. Now comes in, looking disheveled as always. Well, Penny, you weigh 30 pounds more than before the weight loss surgery. How could that be feasibly possible? Are you not pooping? Well, your bladder must be full of 7 gallons of liquid for that to be possible.
She's in complete denial about losing weight, arguing with Dr. Now that she feels lighter and the scales must be wrong. Scales don't lie, but Penny does. Losing weight after weight loss surgery should be easy. The reduced stomach size limits cravings, as well as making the patient feel fuller for longer. By consuming more food than she's allowed, Penny risks breaking the staples in her stomach from the surgery, which could result in severe health risks. Worse, Penny could reverse the surgery altogether, as her stomach could grow back to its original size, undoing all of the hard work and money that Dr. Now and her family have invested in her.
Dr. Now really is fucking scary as shit. Dr. Now I'm 35 years old. I'm getting ready for my first prostate exam. Dr. Now walks in. Well, hello there. I go, he's like 90 years old now. I'm like, oh shit.
Penny has to do is eat the meals made for her and start walking a few times a day.
Dr. Now!
Penny is sneaking in food and refusing to walk. How can—
Dude, classic Lay's chips are so fucking gross. I don't know how they sell. They sell out of fucking grocery stores. Who the fuck buys those?
How can Penny lie in the hospital bed when her only hope is being directly handed to her by
They're too thin and greasy.
Now and throwing it back in his face? Penny's attitude only worsens when she refuses further help from Dr. Now, and his fear is confirmed.
I'm concerned that Penny convinced herself that she's permanently disabled. Okay? I'm not sure we're going to be able to help her.
As Penny has not complied with Dr. Now's treatment, he has decided to end his support.
Well, because they're also like, hey, oh wow, so they just stopped helping her. I was gonna say her life is easier being morbidly obese. She doesn't have a job. She gets to watch cartoons all day, eat like shit, and get waited on. Like, yeah, she's in pain, but I'm saying from like a task perspective, they get into the rut as well as like, well, now I would have to like get a job again. Like, I would have to fucking do all these other things.
And send her home. She hasn't made any progress in weeks, gaining small amounts of weight instead of great losses, and her continuation of the treatment would be a waste of time and effort, better spent on a patient willing to participate and follow the plan. If Penny wants to—
I just don't understand how they gain back like 10 pounds in like a month. I don't think I could gain that amount of weight that quickly.
Resume her treatment, Dr. Now explains that she must be mobile and walking, and have lost a significant amount of weight on her own. Having a positive mental attitude is one of the most important factors of weight loss treatment, as a patient must really want—
Make her play competitive chess. That is a good weight loss strategy. Get really good at chess. You'll burn 6,000 calories in a day. But you have to get really good at chess.
Be fully committed in order to succeed. Penny is the complete antithesis of this, as she shows no motivation, and instead believes she is a victim and—
6,000? Yeah, chess is one of the highest calorie burning sports. As weird as that seems, because your brain burns a very high amount of calories when it's needing to compute things. How? Because really good chess players are basically like mini computers. You weren't joking? No. Pro chess players during tourney day have to like focus on what they're eating as well, because the amount of matches they play and how many computations they're doing in their own brain, they burn like 5,000 or 6,000 calories in a day. They could burn like 1.5 pounds of fat in one day. Like more than you running the entire day. He'll burn more calories sitting in a chair, because he's like a human fucking AI, just going Magnus Carlsen, just running through a bunch of like algorithms.
It's especially upsetting to watch her behavior spiral when we see her husband and son patiently waiting her return, uprooting halfway across the country for her while she doesn't even try. Penny's motivations come into question here, because if not for her family, then why? Penny's belief that she is permanently disabled is stronger than her commitment to her family, and weighs more on her conscience than her commitment to providing a healthy life for her son. To make matters worse, Penny is excited to return home, not considering how her family will feel when she is hauled off the—
Well, and genuine question here. If her husband divorced her and moved out, she would just die. Like, what would they do? What would she do?
Once she got comfortable at home, Dr. Now arranged a physical therapist to visit Penny to increase her mobility. The therapist engages in several physical exercises with Penny, all proven too difficult for her to complete. She even winces at something as easy as wiggling her toes.
Let's get started. Let's just kind of warm everything up. Let's do some of your ankle pumps.
Physically, I'm just not
Oh my God.
able to get up. I just can't do it. Ah. I just know my limitations.
Just see if you can push down to my...
Bro, you know your limitations, but you never try to push them, so you will always be in that bed till the day you die. Your part of life is pushing yourself. And if you never push yourself and you never try to go past those limits, you will always be in the situation you're in. You will never get past it. You will always be in the same fucking plateau. It'll never get better.
Penny's immediate reaction to any physical demands are, I just can't do that, or it's just too difficult for me. Her attitude confirms her family's worst fears, that Penny
I would get mad as shit. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, if I'm the husband, I'd be like, you're just not here for your kid. Like, you just don't care enough.
isn't even trying. It's clear that Penny actually enjoys telling people that she can't do things because she's too disabled to do so, despite that not being the case. It's frightening to remember that behind this is Penny's young son Liam, who is growing well aware his own mother isn't even trying for him. Although Penny was given a strict high-protein, low-carb diet to follow at home, she has started going back into her old eating habits. From the comfort of her bed, Penny makes dozens of wontons, bragging that she wouldn't have any trouble eating them all herself.
I cannot function without wontons. They're not the
I'm getting mad. I'm actually getting mad. He's cooking them. Oh, nice job, Penny. You made the wontons. I'm not going to cook them.
Edgar seems distraught watching Penny do this.
Like, Edgar's a little overweight, bro, but like, he ain't he able to get a job, he able to do all that, but he can't because of her.
Tucking us out, and it's gonna be like, why is she eating that?
And their son's not even overweight.
Concerned for her health, Dr. Now sends an ambulance crew to transport Penny to the hospital for a weigh-in to see how she's really progressing at home. Penny is in complete denial, looking forward to her weigh-in as she believes she's lost over 340 pounds, which would...
What? She thinks she lost 300. She thinks she wait. She thinks she weighs 210.
Things only get worse, as after 2 months at home, Penny has missed every single scheduled check.
2 months? She thinks she lost 340 pounds in 2 months. What the fuck?
340 pounds, which would make
insanity.
her 190 pounds.
Oh my god. Oh my god. She thinks she weighs 190? There's no way, bro. She can't move. That's like beyond denial. And it maybe in like, if she was there for 2 years, I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe you think you lost 340. She thinks she lost 2/3 of her body weight in 60 days.
A little bit higher than the weight of an average woman. She even boasted her new loose skin, which looks surprisingly a lot like fat. But the scales don't lie, and Penny weighs in at 495 pounds, only 35 pounds lighter than her initial weight at the start of her treatment
Scale must be off.
a year ago.
Hold on to the front.
Bro, oh my god, does that count as a blur? Does that count as a blur, bro? Don't fuck with me right now. Now I gotta private the VOD. Oh my god, no. Oh my god. Stop, it's a charity stream, bro. Twitch, please don't ban me. Bro, it's a charity stream, please. It was blurred? Okay, good. Oh my god, see, that's what I mean, though, dude. In the show, they don't blur that shit. In the show, they don't blur that shit. It was blurred.
You haven't lost any.
Ah! There's another blur. It's good. Bro, see, it's just like vagina out. Everything's there. I'm skipping past that.
Dr. Now has a stern word with Penny, claiming that if she doesn't change her ways soon, he will be signing her death certificate. In a wave of newfound motivation, Penny
All right, where were we, bro? I'm like flustered from that. I just saw it, bro.
As that requires walking, Penny practices...
No, dude. Oh my god. 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 I'm freaking out. Oh my God. No way. It was blurred. It was blurred, but still. But still. Nah, dude. It's like, it's blurred, but you know what it is. You know what I mean?
Penny still can't walk,
Chat, I need to finish the video, bro.
and therefore didn't attend Liam's graduation. The months roll by, Penny's fast food intake increases, and she begins missing appointments yet again. When meeting with the nutritionist, Penny is immediately combative and deflects any questions that make her accountable for her own actions.
And so what I want to do first is get a little history. What was your motivation for seeking out surgery?
I'm sorry, and you can take this route if you want, but I find that to be an asinine question.
Okay.
So like the motivation is obviously to lose weight and regain what it's to get back whatever you haven't had because of it.
When asked why she sought out the weight loss program in the first place, Penny remarks at how stupid a question that is, claiming that it's obviously to lose weight, completely missing the point behind the question. Instead of listening to her advice, Penny rejects it completely, even telling Liam that
That bowl of ice cream tonight.
she knows what's best for him and not to listen to the nutritionist.
My son, he's not a candy eater, a cookie eater. He's got like set things that he gets a bedtime snack and one snack a day.
So we have some cereals here.
They're in there trying to make them throw away your cereal. Mommy said not till you're 18.
Edgar, on the other hand,
Not till you're 18.
is receptive to the nutritionist, asking further questions and even for her recommendations on what to eat. The appointment was a disaster for Penny, as it highlighted just how
Like a 17-year-old can't choose what they want to eat for fucking food. Motherfuckers could request diets at any age.
much she is willing to argue instead of just taking accountability. Edgar seems to be the one fighting for a better life for his son Liam, so he doesn't turn to food as a coping mechanism just like his mother had done. It's a shocking revelation when Dr. Now explains that his other patients, who he operated on at the same time as Penny, have now all dropped to below 250 pounds. There's no one else to blame here but Penny, except she believes she's still a victim. Penny blames Dr. Now for not supporting her enough. She blames the hospital diet, the bypass surgery, even the scale, everyone and everything but herself. Dr. Now states if she'd applied herself, she'd have as good a chance as anyone to lose the weight.
Like I've just been sucker punched
Yeah, it's a fucking motivation.
again. Why didn't this do what it's supposed to do when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do?
You're not doing what you're supposed to do. You ate an entire bowl of meat where you were making dumplings and then said, I could eat all of these.
Penny has to want to lose weight, and she has to want to be able to walk. If she apply herself, she has a good chances as anybody else. But I don't see any.
Bro, people gotta stop panning into this shit. There's motherfuckers, I'm not even saying on my 600-pound life, there's motherfuckers that live like this. And they just live for, like, guilt. Like, they live for guilt. And they want people to feel bad for them. Somebody gotta tell her, I don't care. I don't care. You got to figure it the fuck out. All right. You're not trying. You're saying you're trying. You're not trying. I know you're not trying. All right. Like somebody needs to just say that to her fucking face. Like even the doctor's just sitting there and like listening to her. And then on the camera interview, he's like, she's not trying. He has to say to her face, you're not fucking trying. I know you're not trying. I've seen you not try. You eat like shit. You still don't do anything. You don't do the physical therapy. You say moving your fucking ankles hurts. You got to push yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be in this condition. You're going to die in 5 years. You got to give him a fucking reality check right there.
The episode concludes with Penny eating dinner in bed, platefuls of food mounted below her. Dr. Now firmly believes that Penny won't change because she's comfortable right where she is. Penny had every chance to turn her life around. Her family supported her, strangers donated to her cause, her husband and son moved across the country halfway through their lives to support her. But none of that was enough for Penny, as she remains angry at the world that no one has lost the weight for her. In Penny's Where Are They Now episode, which takes place a few months after the first episode ends, her attitude has remained the exact same. She reflects on the previous year as a complete waste of time, claiming that she is content with her current weight and that the scale is just a number.
I haven't been on a scale. I don't feel the need to be
Scale's just a number, bro.
on a scale because it doesn't matter.
It's difficult to comprehend her thinking when she's bound to her bed and unable to look after her son.
bro.
Properly. Dr. Now recounts the reason why Penny failed her treatment.
It was because she couldn't manipulate.
What about Ozempic now? I don't know. Would Ozempic work for her? I feel like people that use Ozempic aren't on my 600-pound life. Like, Ozempic's for people that are like 350 pounds, not 600 pounds. Yo, I'm also saying, I understand she has disability checks. Yo, there are so many work from home jobs now, and they're hard to get, like really hard to get now. But like, you can't say I'm at home, I can't work now. Like, there are a lot of people that don't leave their house and have full-time jobs. They patched that. Bro said they patched that like it was a video game. Like it was a video game change.
As the weeks roll by, Penny has some good moments where she eats a healthy meal, or she gets up from her bed and into her wheelchair, but she then spends the day recovering from the effort she's put in. She claims to be happy and implements small changes every now and then to prove to others that she is making progress and getting better. But it's not progress when you go back to what you're doing just before.
I have a really terrible infection that has caused a wound on my right side. It's so very painful. And I mean, I almost feel like I need to hold it in order to stand, but I use a walker. So it's made that situation very difficult. Right now, feeling like I'm in a setback is very difficult because I had made so much ground.
Stop right there, though.
Penny's delusion develops even further, as despite her making no progress whatsoever, she believes she has, and is entirely happy with her situation. As the episode ends, despite what she says, Penny appears to be gaining even more weight and losing—
Oh my god, she's gaining weight.
Even more
I thought she would just stay where she was at least.
mobility, as she only gets out of bed once every 2 months. This is a stark comparison between Dr. Now's final observations of Penny, stating that if she doesn't restart her weight loss program, she'll be very close to death very soon. And if
yeah, no, dude, she'll die in 5 years. Like, I'm not even trying to be like, that's not mean. That's not anything. If you're that fat, you're gonna die in 5 years. Like, your heart can only deal with that for so long. That was an interesting video, though. I mean, I hope she fucking gains the motivation to lose the weight. But outside of that, yeah.